Alright, what's up, guys? Now, I know I'm going to come off as a complainer a little bit with this video. And here's the thing. I think that Starfield, from what I remember playing of it seems like it's a good game. My issue is that I just don't like that there are giant insects in the game. Like, if you guys know me, I got a little bit of a arachnophobia thing going on. So yeah, when I see giant insects in a video game, it tends to creep me out, and I try to avoid games like that. But Starfield, I've been like kind of going through this phase where I want to buy or play space games. Like I was playing a little bit of Elite Dangerous, play like, and I mean like all different types of space games. Like I was even getting into like other genres, like RTS space games. Like there was the one that was like Solar of the Empire or something like that too. I think it's like something solar. It's like something Solar Empire. Hold on for a second. Let me look up because I don't want to like steer y'all in the wrong direction. Sins of a Solar Empire. I don't know why I'm like, yeah, it's just my brain ain't braining right now. But anyways, yeah, I was playing games like that. I played Elite Dangerous. I played EVE Online. I even went out and bought Star Citizen. And I'm like, fam, like I don't know, like there hasn't been a space game that has like caught my attention to where I'm just sitting down playing it for a long period. Even No Man's Sky, like that I have to say that was like one of the first few space games. That's probably where it had started. But anyways, nah, man, like I had just been looking for a good space game, but Starfield is one of those games that do get brought up when talking on space games and stuff. And so I'm like, all right, cool. Let me go ahead and check this out. I remember when it very first came out and I seen the company that was behind it and I'm like, yeah, I know the business with them. I don't even know why I'm even giving this game a try, but yeah, I remember the first time I played it, and yeah, they had like some weird, creepy looking things in there, and I'm like, dang man, like here's the thing, because people be like in the downplay the arachnophobia stuff. They're all like, oh, it's just in your mind. Like, no, that's the thing though. Because I have to say, like, I guess, like, kind of explaining it for myself, like, it, started all the way from when I was a child. And, like, that's something where I didn't really think too much of it, but it's just something where it's kind of like, like, you have, like, one bad dream, you don't ever want to have that dream again, like, ever. And I remember when I was a kid, I remember I did have a dream, and I know people were like, bro, you a grown man, like, get over it and stuff. I wish it was that easy, but the thing is this, people that downplay that let you deal with something and see how hard it is for you to like shake it, or because yeah, that's the thing. I'm like, people be like, they do like to downplay it, and I'm like, man, I just remember back when I was a kid, I had this, like, it was a really bad dream of like, not like, yeah, of like some decent size spiders. And yeah, it's just one of those things where I'm like, I just I don't like nothing insect related, like I like it is. What was weird is that, like, growing up, like, it didn't, like, insects didn't really phase me that much, like if I did see an insect, I just would like, I don't know, like, I mean, if it was a bee, like, yeah, I'll like hit at a bee and stuff. This is like when I was a kid. Like now as an adult, I'm like, nope, I don't even, like, if I see bees flying around, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna let you stay in your area, I'm gonna stay in my area. As long as we can respect each other's boundaries, I think we could be on the same page here. But nah, man, like, I don't like no form of insects, like, spiders. I don't like none of that. I'm like, it's one of those things where I'm like, I try to avoid all contacts with any insects whatsoever. And I have to say, the only game that I played where surprisingly it didn't get to me, but there are at times where I'm like, okay, they getting kind of ridiculous now, like, chill out, bruh. But anyways, Helldivers. And that's a game where I'm like, man, I just don't know how I managed to get through that game. That's a game where I'm like, yeah, they got some like giant insect like creatures, but that is the one thing that I do like about that game, is that you don't have to play on like that particular, like, or I guess in the areas where they do have the insect enemies and stuff. But that's what was so crazy about it, is that I found myself going up more against the insect enemies than the robot enemies. And now that they kind of added these zombie enemies, that's what I was last playing. Because, yeah, they're the latest, like, content to the game and stuff. But anyways, but yeah, like, I did play a lot of the insect enemies. It was just a lot easier to handle. like compared to the robot enemies, they were, a little difficult and stuff. But anyways, yeah, I had to say that was probably the only game. But I'm like, I wish it was like that with Starfield. But I just remember the last time when I played it, I didn't know what it was. I just seen something black run across my character's feet, and I'm like, I don't know what that is. It freaked me out, and I'm like, nah, bruh, I'm done. I'm like, I don't want to play this game no more. But I would like to. And so here's the thing. So I know that people are like, oh, there is a mod that gets rid of the insects. So I came across that. I came across that mod, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I'm about to install this, and they had it where it had like a mod support thing on Xbox. And so I'm like, man, that's crazy for them to have a mod support on Xbox. So I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and play. I'm so glad that I had did the cloud play thing, because if I would have had to wait for that game to download and then get the results, I'm gonna talk on the results and things. But so anyways, so I see I originally had found the mod on PC, so I'm like, okay, let me see what it's all about. So anyways, I thought I had downloaded the mod on PC. Turns out it's only available, well, it is available on like Nexus Mod or something like that, .com for the PC version, but then they also had the Xbox version. So I'm like, okay, let me just see what it looks like real quick, and then I'll try to figure out how to install it on PC, because I find myself playing more like shooter games on a mouse and keyboard and stuff. So anyways, I see that the mod's on Xbox. I download it, and right when I'm getting ready to start up the game and play it, that's when they hit me with the, oh, achievements have been disabled. And I'm thinking to myself, fam, you know that's the one thing that if that mod exists, that's the one thing that a person overall tries to avoid in a video game, are insects. Or they just overall avoid the game altogether. Why would you have it set up where you have it where the mod is? Why have it where the mod even goes through? Like, I'm saying, like, that's one of those things where me as the developer, if I want people to get the full experience of the game, I'm not gonna allow mods like that to be on my game. But I just find that pointless. Like, oh yeah, you can download the mod can be enabled and all that stuff, and and then like that one thing that really gets your anxiety going, like, yeah, that's gonna be gone, but you ain't gonna be able to get achievements. Am I playing the Xbox, or am I playing the Xbox Series X? Like, that's something where I'm like, nah, man, I don't get that. But that's something where I was like, nope, I'm not even gonna sit down and give this game a chance. I'm not gonna play it. I'm not gonna fool with it. I find that silly. I find that silly where it's like, this is the one thing that I wanted to use, but I can't get achievements. And I don't know if it's on some business where it's like, okay, so let's say I then disable it, and then all the achievements that I would have gotten, and that's when they just start appearing. Maybe if that is the case, then I could see myself playing it. But if not, I just feel like that would be a letdown to play it, do all these different things in the game, and I don't get no achievements for it. And then I gotta play the game back all the way from the beginning, and then have it where the insects thing is disabled, the mod or something, and then that's when I'll be able to get achievements. It's stuff like that where I'm like, if that's what the case is, I don't see myself playing that game. So I'm like, man, it's something where I'm like, it's, if people are asking for it, that's something that you guys should have. My thing is this: you got games out there like Hogwarts Legacy. They knew the business about how like weird and creepy insects are. That's why they added that arachnophobia mode. What was another game that added the Grounded? That was a game where it was like all about insects, and they added an arachnophobia mode. What is another game that added? I feel like there was another game that had an arachnophobia. Yeah, it was one of the Star Wars games. They added an arachnophobia mode, and I don't even think the game had spiders. They had scorpions in the game. So I'm just saying, like, to me, it really trips me out that you guys know the business with your games, all right? This is the same business. Because you see it with Skyrim. People came out with an arachnophobia mod for that. They came out, I think they did come out with an arachnophobia mod for Fallout. Same business with Starfield. But you have it set up where we can't even get achievements if we have that mod enabled. Why do I need to see insects in the game if I don't want to see them? Like, it's one of those things where I'm like, I'm not even looking for an answer for that question. I'm just not going to play the game. I'm like, I wish the best of luck to the developers behind Starfield, but I just don't see a need to play it if, like, I want to play it, but I know I'm going to have an issue with some things in the game. So I finally find a solution, but I can't get achievements. Yeah, I don't see a need for playing the game. So anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for, I wish I would have given you guys some more Starfield content, but yeah, if you're wondering why, like, I've been playing a lot of different space games, but I haven't played Starfield, that's why. So anyways, yeah, thank you guys. Like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and peace.